The call came while I was halfway across town. The cleaner's voice trembled through the phone, thin and fragile, like a wire ready to snap. "Sir, I can't stay here. You need to come home. Now." I pressed down on the accelerator before she even finished. When I pulled into the driveway, she was crouched on the lawn, mascara streaked across her cheeks, staring up at the master bedroom window as though it were a loaded gun about to go off. "I was just dusting the top shelf," she stammered, her fingers shaking as she pointed toward the closet. The moment I stepped inside, the bedroom smelled of lavender mixed with a sharp chill of cold air. I opened the closet door. On the top shelf sat a black box, sealed with tape. No label, no markings. My hands seemed to recognize its weight before my eyes confirmed the truth. Peeling the tape away, I felt my entire life shift in silence, like a blade sliding under skin. Inside were photographs, dozens of them. Naomi, my wife, smiling in hotels I had never visited, her arms wrapped around a man I had never met. In some pictures, our daughter appeared, smaller, younger, clutching his hand as if he belonged to her. Beneath the photographs were letters, a second phone, receipts for private meetings. For a long, breathless moment, I could only stare, the images bleeding into each other, my heartbeat slowing into something steady, almost calm. No shouting, no tears, no collapse, just the cold recognition of a pattern. Behind me, the cleaner hovered nervously at the doorway, trembling. "I didn't touch anything else," she whispered. I nodded softly, thanked her, and escorted her out. Then I locked the door behind me. Naomi had always been meticulous about appearances, crafting our marriage like a storefront display. Business trips, charity events, nights away to visit her sister. She had built a life inside another life, and I, the fool, had tended it blindly, never noticing the weeds. That night began my quiet excavation. I dug through passwords on her laptop, bank statements hidden under coded names, GPS data from her car service app. The deeper I searched, the clearer it became. This wasn't simple betrayal. She was deliberately transferring our assets into a trust one had never signed, arranging flights booked under my name. And yet every morning, I wore the mask of routine. I poured her coffee, asked about her meetings, and she smiled back the way liars do, with too much gum and not enough eyes. Each night, I added to my grid of evidence. Dates, deposits, hotels. The man's name, some consultant drowning in debt, twice divorced. That black box had been her mistake. Too high for her to notice, just low enough for someone else to find. Or maybe she wanted me to find it. Maybe she thought it would break me in the right way. It didn't. It gave me clarity. 2 weeks later, the DNA results came back. The truth was colder than anything I'd uncovered. Our daughter, my anchor, my center, was not biologically mine. The number sat on the page like coordinates to a battlefield I had already crossed. I didn't confront Naomi that night. Instead, I arranged everything, photos, transfers, DNA results, into one clean folder. I placed it on the kitchen island, waiting like a meal no one wanted to eat. When she returned from her conference, I slid the folder toward her. She flipped it open. Her eyes darted. A tremor ran across her lips, her breath catching. Where did you?" she started. I stayed silent. Her gaze landed on the DNA report, then on me. Her face strained. She forced a smile. "It's not what you think." It was exactly what I thought. I reached for my phone. A live video feed appeared. Our daughter asleep at my sister's house, safe. Custody documents already filed, all signed under Naomi's distracted hand weeks earlier. "I knew before the box," I said softly. Her lips trembled. "You what?" "I just needed you to confirm it yourself." Her knees gave way. She sank to the cold tile, one hand clawing at the counter, nails scraping against stone. One by one, I laid down the financial records of her lover. Debts erased, payments traced. Her entire scheme mapped out like a crime scene. She tried to speak, but only a dry rasp escaped. I stood above her, silent, unshaken, watching the architecture of her plan collapse beneath its own weight. Dawn broke gray through the kitchen windows. Naomi sat where I had left her, eyes open but hollow, realizing it was all gone. The accounts frozen, the flights canceled, custody secured, her secret child safe in the arms of the man she'd chosen over me. I brewed myself coffee, its rich aroma grounding me. Years of quiet discipline had led to this one moment. No gunshots, no screams, just a clean severing. I walked past her to the front door. Outside, the lawn glittered with dew. Inside, her voice finally cracked through the silence. "You planned this." I didn't answer. My hand lingered on the doorknob. I felt lighter, not free, not vengeful, but precise. No pity, no sorrow, only clarity. As I stepped into the cold air, I thought of that black box, how it had waited on the shelf like a fuse, and how, when it finally burned down, I hadn't exploded. I had simply cut the wire and walked away. The last sound I heard was the quiet click of the door closing behind me, cleaner than forgiveness, sharper than revenge.